Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 318. They're getting lower and lower every day. Well, it's time for workout, but it's raining. Ditches are full like it rained last night, pretty much all night. It's still raining this morning, but you know what? It's hot too. The humidity is insane like it was yesterday. So I think I'm just gonna ride in the rain this morning. Here we go. All right, workout is done. Look at that. The sun came out. Got even hotter. My back is coated in water though because, well, I don't have a fender on my bike. So all the water from the road just like flipped up on my back. Ew. Anyway, one of the watchers, Toby Northern, actually, a buddy of mine, asked me what bike I ride. So Toby, it is a Walmart special. It is a Huffy with, I don't know, Shimano equipped, whatever the fuck that means. It's made in China. And Parkside SE. I think it's like 7 speeds. I've had it for, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years. We bought it when we moved here to Florida, or a few years after we moved here, thinking that we would ride them all the time. And we did for a little bit, and then we lost interest. But then last year, I broke it back out, filled up the tires, and I want to say I've put quite a few miles on it this year, maybe 1,000 miles. I may have ridden that thing 1,000 miles this year. Compared to my motorcycle, that's not much, but for a bicycle, for an old guy, I think that's pretty good. Anywho, it's Friday. Tomorrow night is Cape Bike Night, so I haven't seen a lot of people from Cape Coral in a long time, so I'm excited to go see all of them and take a nice little ride. We've got some friends joining us, so it should be a small group of us. I don't know, 4, 5, 6 bikes going down to Cape Coral tomorrow to check it out. And that's it. Off to work, coffee time, and we'll see you in a bit. What's up, guys? So another day in the books. Day, I think it's 3:18 maybe. Anyway, got my ears lowered. Haircut is done. I'm ready for Daytona next weekend, except I ordered a new tire for my bike. I was going to replace it this weekend. Well, a white wall came, and I'm not putting a white wall tire on my bike. So I had to ship it back, ordered another one, which will be here midweek. Just means one day next week I'm going to have to change out that rear tire. It would probably make it. I mean, it's not showing any cord or anything yet, so it'd probably make it. I just wasn't planning on taking the chance, but if I have to, I will. No big deal. Anywho, so last night I went to bed, and hear me out on this, guys. I had an idea. Crap, you know what that means, right? I've had a few ideas in my time. One of those ideas was Route 66. Another one of those was a world record poker run. This one is more of a dream, right? It's not really an idea because, I mean, ideas I feel like are something that is reachable, and this is like something that I don't feel is reachable, but I still think it'd be cool as hell. So here's what I was thinking. First off, let me rewind where this is coming from. So I spent last weekend at the Barber Museum, and the Barber Museum is phenomenal. It is so cool. And then I haven't made it through Wheels Through Time, but I really want to. Every time we get near there, something happens that prevents me from going to Wheels Through Time. Now, I'm not sure about Barber, but I know at Wheels Through Time, they claim, one of their claims to fame is everything in there runs. That's pretty freaking cool, right? And I love that and I hate that all at the same time. And here's what I mean. So I love the museum. I love seeing these bikes. But the problem with these bikes, right, is that everybody can go look at them, but nobody's ever going to ride them. Maybe on Wheels Through Time, they'll take them around the block or something. But, you know, the average person, the average you, me, everybody else, is never going to ride them. You think about some of the iconic bikes of the past, and you think about the fact that, you know, we will never have the ability to ride them. It's kind of like Jay Leno. He has this huge car collection, right? And he does take these cars out and drive them. But I mean, he's a multimillionaire and he gets to drive his toys around, which, let's face it, he's earned them, he's bought them. That's super cool. But The normal, average, everyday Joe does not get to drive or ride these types of things. So, what I would like to see, my dream, if I won that lottery, I would create a riding museum. So I would go collect all of these rare bikes. I would hire the people that can fix them, and then I would have people come in. Of course, licensed and all that, and pay X amount of dollars. And I would have, I don't know, I'd have a road course or something, kind of like Barber, where people could ride them. Or I would have, I would have a way, a trail, a something, so people could ride them. But basically, you could come in, you could pay X, Y, Z, and you could ride a 1927 Harley Davidson or a 1956 or whatever that may be. 20 years from now, that may be a V-Rod, right? Because they don't make them anymore. They're kind of scarce. And there are a lot of people that have never ridden a V-Rod that want to ride one, but they'll may never get that chance to ride a V-Rod. There's so many different iconic bikes out there that people will, like I said, they've seen. They've always wanted or imagined what it would be like to ride that bike. But will never ever get the opportunity to ride that bike. One, because maybe they can't afford it. Two, maybe it's just that rare that it's not available. I don't know all the reasoning behind it, but there are bikes out there that you would love to ride, just like bikes you grew up riding. And yeah, if you wanted to go search, you could probably find the dirt bike you rode 30 or 40 years ago. Maybe the bike that your grandpa always rode. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to ride that bike you used to watch your grandpa or your uncle or somebody else ride up on? And that was like your vision of, that would be, that's my vision of Harley. And so then, 30 years later, you get yourself a Harley just like they had. The difference is it's not just like they had. It's a new Harley. What about using a foot clutch? What about a suicide shifter? What about all of those things that you'll probably never have on a current bike that, you see in a museum and be like, what would that be like to ride? So I look at all of these bikes and I'm like, they're freaking awesome, but they're never going to do what they were intended to do ever again. And that is be ridden by somebody, around the block, across the country, whatever that may look like. Even these guys that do the cannonball run. I've heard you, you've heard me, I've heard you. Whew. You've heard me talk before that was another dream of mine. I would love to run the cannonball because I want to ride one of those old bikes. And there's only a small percentage of people that will ever be able to get one of those bikes, afford one of those bikes, be able to take the time and make that ride, right? So could you imagine if those bikes were available for the average public to come in on a weekend, spend X amount of dollars, have somebody there that can show them how to ride, a foot clutch or whatever that's different, and then they be able to go out to a track or whatever and ride that bike around and get the feeling for that. It's a once in a lifetime experience. At least that's what I think. And I personally feel like people from all over the world would come to have that type of experience. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Tell me I'm crazy, guys. But I just think that would be the coolest freaking thing ever. I think it would be cool if cars were the same way. If they had a museum full of cars that you could go drive old cars, right? Because we've all heard our parents tell a story of the 1969 Camaro they had or whatever. And those are accessible, but they keep getting more expensive, and the general public's probably not going to get a chance at those. So imagine if you could go to, and this may exist, I may not know about it. If it exists, please let me know because I want to do it. But to be able to go drive those type of cars that you'll never be able to own would be phenomenal for me. Anyway, that's what I was thinking today. That's my dream. I told Angie and she looked at me like I was a freaking crackhead today. And I am. All of you that follow me know that I get wild, crazy ideas. This one seems way further out of my reach than all my other ideas, but it's still an idea that I have in my head, and I think it would be cool, and I wanted to put it out there in the world in case somebody else thinks it's cool and they've got the money and want to collaborate or whatever on this. I'm down. Anyway, that's it, guys. Have yourselves a great Saturday, and we will see you tomorrow.